Siem Reap is the second largest city of Cambodia and its unofficial tourism capital. The city serves as the primary gateway to the UNESCO World Heritage listed Angkor Wat, the world's largest religious structure. Siem Reap translates to Siam defeated in Khmer, commemorating a 16th or 17th century victory by the Khmer Empire over the Thai Ayutthaya Kingdom. To reach the city from the Siem Reap Angkor International Airport, the options include a 60-minute airport taxi, tuk-tuk, shuttle bus, or private transfer, covering about 50 kilometers. Taxis cost around $20, while airport shuttle is the most affordable option, typically costing $8. Beyond the temples, Siem Reap is a hub of contemporary Cambodian culture with creative arts, lively markets, tasty cuisine and warm hospitality. The town retains a cozy provincial vibe, despite a booming tourism industry. Wat Damnak is a famous Buddhist pagoda, and one of the teaching monasteries in the city. It was formerly the royal residence of King Sisowat from 1904 to 1927. Later, when the king's palace was relocated near the Banana King ashram, the courtyard of the palace complex was turned into a Buddhist pagoda. Wat Bo is one of the oldest and most significant Buddhist monasteries in Siem Reap. The building is an active religious center, where monks still live and pursue their religious life. This 18th century temple contains many historically valuable art or murals from the 19th century, which are not only reasonably well preserved, but above all, offer a very good insight into the stories of Hindu epic Ramayana. One of the quirky places in town is this garden of local master sculptor Dai Brown, which houses miniature replicas of Angkor Wat, the Bayon, Bante Sre and other temples. As the center of Cambodian cultural heritage, Siem Reap is home to the country's top museum. Opened in 2007, the Angkor National Museum houses the world's finest collection of Angkor-era artifacts. Art for Peace is a cultural initiative, uniting more than 50 Cambodian artists in Siem Reap. This public mural gives voice to civilian suffering, protects cultural heritage, and calls on the international community to actively engage in peace amid the ongoing Thailand-Cambodia conflict. Theravada Buddhism is the state religion of Cambodia. It is the core of Cambodian culture, practiced by over 95% of the population. The royal residence is a villa that serves as the official residence for the King of Cambodia for when he visits Siem Reap. A 1st century legend tells the story of an Indian Brahmin named Kaundinya, who married a local Naga princess named Soma, founding the Funan kingdom in the Mekong Delta, which became the precursor to the Khmer Empire and present-day Cambodia. Siem Reap has rapidly modernized its infrastructure without losing provincial charm. It is a quaint, friendly town. Sidewalks, public parks, markets, and little cafes make it ideal for walking and exploring. The riverfront and old market areas are popular hangouts. Around 1920s, French colonial rows of Chinese traditional shophouses were constructed bordering the market square, at what is now known as the Old Market. It is a lively cultural area where one can experience local culture, explore vendors, taste authentic Cambodian cuisine, and purchase local crafts and souvenirs. Pub Street in Siem Reap, originated in the early 2000s, transforms from a quiet area into the city's vibrant central nightlife hub, driven by growing tourism and local entrepreneurship. Located in the central area near the Old Market, this is one of the oldest pagodas in the city. The site reportedly has a history dating back to the turn of the 16th century, and the fable of a Buddhist monk named Pre Angchon Han Hoi, and an adventure on the local rivers, where quite miraculously, the front half of a heavily damaged wooden boat brought him home safely. In Cambodia, the pagoda is always attached to one or more villages. It plays a strong social role within the community, serving as a gathering place. It also plays an educational and moral role. The Buddhist monastery features a typical Khmer-style pagoda, a courtyard with statues depicting different Buddhist beliefs, and a hall surrounded by hand-painted picture walls. One of the unforgettable experiences to have in Siem Reap is to attend the buffet dinner of classic Khmer cuisine, witnessing many traditional dance performances. You can enjoy an extensive buffet, followed by a series of 5 traditional Cambodian cultural dance performances. The final battle of Rinka or Ramayan depicts the epic clash between Ram and the demon king Ravan, symbolizing the eternal struggle between virtue and tyranny. This legendary scene brings to life the moment when Ram and his army of monkey warriors, led by the mighty Hanuman, waged their final assault on Ravan's fortress. The battlefield erupts with graceful yet intense movements as warriors engage in combat. Ravan, wielding his 10 heads and 20 arms, uses his dark magic, while Ram, armed with his divine bow, fights with unwavering righteousness. As the final blow strikes, Ravan falls, and justice is restored. The Bokatau dance is a captivating performance that showcases the strength, agility, and discipline of Bokatau, Cambodia's oldest martial art. Rooted in the warrior traditions of the Angkoran Empire, this dance reenacts the combat techniques once used by Khmer soldiers in battle. Inspired by animal movements, performers mimic the strength of a lion, the precision of a bird, and the agility of a monkey, symbolizing the deep connection between nature and Khmer combat philosophy. Traditionally, Bokatau was not just a form of self-defense but also a sacred practice, performed in rituals to honor ancestors and Khmer heritage. Unlike ordinary dances, the Bokatau dance blends graceful movements with powerful strikes, joint locks, and acrobatic maneuvers, demonstrating the warrior's control over body and mind. The Ploi Soi dance is a traditional performance of the Soi ethnic group, an indigenous community residing in the province of Kampong Speu. Traditionally performed during festivals, celebrations, and courtship rituals, the Ploi Soi dance is an artistic expression of the harmony between nature, music, and human connection. This unique dance is named after the ploi, a handcrafted bamboo wind instrument that produces deep, resonant melodies. Historically, young men played the ploi as a means of courtship, using its enchanting sound to express emotions and attract potential partners. The Cambodian fishing dance is a lively and graceful folk dance that reflects the daily life of Khmer fishermen. Rooted in Cambodia's rich cultural traditions, this enchanting performance showcases the art of casting nets, paddling boats, and catching fish, brought to life through fluid movements and rhythmic music. Beyond depicting the act of fishing, the dance also carries a playful courtship element, symbolizing prosperity, harmony, and the bonds within fishing communities. The Apsara dance is Cambodia's most iconic classical performance, embodying grace, beauty, and divine elegance. Inspired by the celestial dancers carved into the ancient temples of Angkor Wat, this dance reflects Khmer mythology, where Apsaras descend to enchant gods and kings with their mesmerizing movements. Dancers wear elaborate silk costumes, golden headdresses, and intricate jewelry, mirroring the divine elegance of their celestial counterparts. Once reserved for the royal court, this sacred art has become a national treasure, preserving Cambodia's rich heritage. Performed with delicate hand gestures, slow rhythmic steps, and hypnotic expressions, the Apsara dance is a symbol of harmony, prosperity, and blessings.